Hey everybody, it's Pat the Wine Guy, and we are here in the heart of Oregon wine country. We're in the Eola Amity Hills AVA, which is just outside of Salem, Oregon. This is an interesting time to be in the wine business because depending on the region, in some places wine sales are flat, in some places wine sales are down. But here in Oregon, Oregon has been hot, remains hot, and kind of catching a wave. We're here at one of the wineries that is contributing to that wave, Walter Scott, the Walter Scott Winery, and talking to the head winemaker, Ken Pahlow. Ken, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming out to see us.
It's a great day to be here,
Yeah,
for sure.
Beautiful. I mean, this sort of weather in early March isn't very common.
I know.
We'll take it.
It's fantastic. Your credentials are impressive. Ken's been making wine in Oregon for years, has worked with some notable wineries, including St. Innocent and Evening Land and Patricia Green. And for the past 12 years, you've been running Walter Scott. So there are people who are still discovering Walter Scott, and to them, you're probably an overnight sensation. But this overnight sensation started 12 years ago, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you've been doing, for a while, you were doing two jobs. You had a real job during the day, and then you were making wine when you weren't doing your real job.
Yeah.
You had a baby. It's been busy 12 years. Give us a little.
Been very busy.
Give us a little background on the journey.
Well, basically it started, I worked for St. Innocent for all those years and worked for an importer. Along the way, met Erica while selling her wine.
Erica, the wife of the husband-wife team that does
Yes,
Walter Scott.
Erica Landon, the strong half, and the kind of the foundation. Without her encouragement, I probably would have continued working two jobs. But we got together in 2007 and decided shortly, within like 6 or 7 months of being together, to empty out our 20 grand worth of retirement and start Walter Scott.
You're a boutique winery, but you are riding that wave and partially responsible for that wave. Why is Oregon wine so hot right now?
There was a trend where people wanted bigger, thicker, richer wines. Mm-hmm. I think the pendulum is swinging the other way for more elegance, finesse, transparency, freshness, and the Willamette Valley can do that in spades. The Willamette Valley is definitely in a really good spot, and there's some, not just Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, Pinot Gris. People are doing Gamay Noir, some people are doing Cabernet Franc. There's still people pushing for Riesling, so you can kind of do whatever you want, and if you do it well, commitment, dedication, details, people will support it. And it is a really special time in the Willamette Valley. I think we're celebrating either the 53rd or 54th anniversary. I think it's probably the most exciting times ever in the Willamette Valley.
So there's a lot of momentum.
Tons.
To me, and I've been drinking wine a while. I'm always the oldest wine drinker in the room. But I remember when you said Chardonnay, you'd think California.
Of course.
You'd think buttery and oaky.
Yep.
The last thing you thought about was Oregon, because in the bad old days of Oregon Chardonnay,
we call them challenging.
Okay, challenging, all right.
There's never a bad vintage, it's a challenging vintage.
Okay, so back in those days, there were some challenging, one after another.
Yes.
Oregon had not mastered Chardonnay. And now, again, Chardonnay, speaking of being on a roll, Oregon Chardonnay has got all the momentum in the world. And I was just reading Wine Enthusiast, I think it was, and there's Oregon Chardonnay right there. What changed about Oregon Chardonnay?
I think Oregon started playing to its strength. Acidity, freshness, minerality. You can't not mention, better plant material and better farming as being part of it. It's always been here. You look at the great regions of the world, whether it's Sonoma, Napa, Burgundy, Chardonnay is always planted with Pinot Noir. And it's been here. It just came down to, that learning curve. And now people are planting, once Pinot Noir, it was decided that was the grape, it got the best spots in the vineyard. Now Chardonnay is getting the best spots in the vineyard. And that does make a big difference.
In your words, how would you describe what a good Oregon Chardonnay tastes like?
What I look for and appreciate, I think you're always in the best Willamette Valley Chardonnays, you're going to get a lot of orchard fruits, whether it's stone fruits of peach, nectarine, citrus tones, I think acidity is never going to be a problem, and you're going to have really nice minerality, along with just enough weight to give the wine some richness.
So we're singing the praises of Chardonnay, but
Mhm.
there was quite a stretch when people wouldn't even admit that they drink it.
Mhm.
They did drink it, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't admit it
No.
because it's this love-hate thing with Chardonnay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's almost like
but Chardonnay.
ABC.
You know, I think that was, you know, it came down to a style that people just found to be tiring to drink. There's still people that love it. I mean, California made millions and millions of dollars on big, buttery, oaky, rich, soft, residual sugar-laden Chardonnay. And if that's what you like, great. I just believe the Willamette Valley has a different part to play in that equation, and it does something completely different, and people dig it. It's clear that we can make some of the best Chardonnay on the planet. I think as we move forward, and I think as people taste more and more Willamette Valley Chardonnay blind with some of the best wines of Burgundy, people aren't going to be able to tell the difference. And I think the sky's the limit. The quality potential's there. You know, we have vintage variation in the Willamette Valley. Climate change is going to mess with us. You know, it's going to be more extremes. But I think with where we sit with Chardonnay, we have an incredible foundation on which to build on for the future.
Future's so bright, you got to wear shades,
Yeah,
especially
so.
especially on a day like today.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. Ken, thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming out.
And your insight. Great stuff. And I'm a convert. Again, in years past, wouldn't be drinking Oregon Chardonnay, and now we've got to shut this camera off so I can try it right here. That's it from Walter Scott Winery in the Eola Amity Hills AVA outside of Salem, Oregon. Ken, thanks again.
My pleasure.
Pat the Wine Guy, we'll see you next time.